Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Live for the game, live fearless. By CarQuest. For all your automotive needs, visit your neighborhood CarQuest Auto Parts store. Great people, great products, great prices. And by Chevrolet. Brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Well, it was a beautiful day in the capital city today. Back inside PNC Arena, Canes and Flames tonight. Tonight's starting goaltenders brought to you by Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. Anton Khudobin getting ready for action after his activity against the Columbus Blue Jackets on Friday night. 21 saves and a 3-0 loss. Carolina's team defense number 18. And Kari Ramo, who defeated Carolina on December the 12th with 29 saves. It was a 2-1 overtime win by Calgary. He gets the start tonight. Their team defense is number 28. Kyle Raymond, Wes McCauley are the referees with David Brisebois, John Grant on the lines. Jordan Staal, Nathan Gerbe, along with Patrick Dwyer. Kick started for Carolina. Sit back and enjoy this one. Second and final meeting between these two cross-conference rivals. Jiri Hudler, Michael Backlund at his side. He had their only goal in a 2-1 loss against Pittsburgh on Saturday night. They've come all the way out east to play this one. They're in Nashville tomorrow, and then they go right back to Calgary. Nathan Gerbe broken up by Ladislav Schmid in control, and the Flames now will attempt a breakout.
Boy, that's a tough 3 games in 4 nights, I'll tell you what. Here in the Nashville, and then a Thursday night home game, having played Pittsburgh on Saturday.
And I believe it's Winnipeg with Paul Maurice. And we wish him all the best. His new post as the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets. They play tonight at home against Phoenix. Lance Boma threads it along. Anton Khudobin moves it. Schmid from the point, off a stick, loose this way. Jeff Skinner gets to it by TJ Brody. And out to the center zone. Brody in control. He'll cross the Carolina line. Deal away now. Quick shot taken. Good save by Khudobin. Shot off the stick of Matt Stajan. Now it's fed along and broken up by Eric Staal and back out to center ice.
Puck needs to get deep, but just deep enough for Andre Sekera to give Anton Khudobin his stick back. He had lost it.
Schmid now for Calgary goes cross corner. Sean Michael Lyles is paired with Ryan Murphy tonight. Sean Monahan, the rookie. Great save, Khudobin on the setup for Paul Byron. And a beautiful pass from Sean Monahan.
Boy, no jet lag across North America for the Flames in the first couple of minutes. They have been sharp.
Byron on this line with Bill Colburn and Sean Monahan out to center ice. The aforementioned Monahan in control. 6th overall pick in June. Chris Butler had the winning goal against Carolina on December 12th at the Saddle Dome. He'll get it deep.
Boy, that is a heck of an early pad save. And for Khudobin, this is the first time because he got off to such a torrid, perfect start that he's had to bounce back as a Carolina Hurricane. And so far, his glove side pad has done the job.
It's a light week for Carolina. They don't play again until Saturday night here against Florida. The following night, Tampa Bay will be here as they start a 3-game homestand. Hurricanes slowly from their own zone. John Michael Lyles. Out to center ice, Eric Staal after a 3-game absence over the line. Nathan Gerbe pulls up off a body, blocked on the way through by Mark Giordano. Now it's played by Ron Hainsey, loose and back of the goal. Giordano moves it by Brett Belmore. You see it come all the way back, no icing.
Yeah, 2 teammates right here, members of the Players Association collide. Hainsey and Kevin Westgarth.
Kevin Westgarth back in Raleigh as it's tipped just wide. Good chance right out in front. There's Patrick Dwyer. Gerbe off the stick of Jordan Staal. Jiri Hudler off the boards. Captured by Jordan. He'll keep it deep. The Flames now will circle back in their own zone and lug it out. Here's Michael Backlund for Lee Stempniak. Stempniak holding on to it. Off the stick of Jiri Hudler. And away goes Nathan Gerbe. Approaching Chris Butler on a cut. He lays it off for Jordan. Off the pad of Kari Ramo. Loose and back of the goal. Stempniak gets to it. Off a glass support. The Flames now will punch it back out to neutral ice.
Good back check from Stempniak after the Hudler turnover.
Along the boards now, Stempniak. Slowed up by Khudobin. Played by Lance Boma out of the corner now. Right through the blue and out. The feed from Matt Stajan. Gerby tries to clear, racing across, trapping the zone. TJ Gagliardi for Boma. Gagliardi's in, on and off his stick to the corner. A shoulder by Alex Semin on TJ Gagliardi, and they get it out.
Boy, I am impressed with the quickness there. Gagliardi just winning the race to the front of the net.
Now it's Semin with Eric. He'll pull up, delay, hold on to it, look for a friend to pass to. Threading across in the skates of Ryan Murphy. Eric out in front in the skates of Jeff Skinner. And the Flames now attempt to get it out as they succeed along the boards and wheel it all the way back. Ryan Murphy in control. Out to center. He sat out Friday night in Columbus. Murphy pulls up. His shot negated at the defense by TJ Brodie. Brodie, a good job to dig it out. Away is Joe Colburn. Colburn now approaching Lyles. Little backhand dish. Goes deep. Sean Monahan taken care of by Lyles. Colburn at his side, detected by Semin. Alexander Semin deep in his own zone. Wheels along for John Michael Lyles, and they get it out.
That's the type of work that the Hurricanes need from Semin at the end of a shift down low. There he had to assume the role of a centerman, being the low guy. He worked to win that battle. Nice little saucer, skilled play, and then got off the ice.
Hurricanes have won 5 of their last 6. They are 4 points out of a playoff spot. In terms of the division, 3 points outside of the wild card chase. Now, Dennis Weidman back out to center. Chipped along by Yuri Hudler, and it deflects out of play. Should the Canes win tonight, all Caniacs win. Get 50% off your entire menu price online order at participating Papa John's the day after a Canes win. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Well, let's watch this forecheck from Calgary, and a heck of a save. Excellent quickness on the part of Anton Khudobin. You know, he couldn't challenge too much. You don't want to be still moving when the shot's taken. Otherwise, you cannot flash your pad out like he did.
We now take a look at the Rex Express Care injuries and scratches as it's centered out in front. Weidman gets it out. Rex Healthcare is chosen for excellence. Over the line now, Lance Boma. Boma with a shot blocked on the way through by Elias Lindholm. In the corner, Boma takes a run at Tuomo Ruutu. Brett Belmore moves it. As Lindholm was taken down, it comes all the way down to Ramo.
Boy, a couple of close icings that have been waved off so far in this hockey game. Of course, you remember the rule at the beginning of the year that became more black and white, that a player has to touch it, not just attempt to play it.
3 shots so far, all taken by Calgary. There's one for Carolina off the stick of Yuri Tlusty, who returns from injury tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's Storm Tracker.
Well, it starts with establishing the forecheck early. Get to it early. That's the bread and butter of the Hurricanes. So far, Calgary is, I think, and Skinner. If the Hurricanes are able to match the work ethic of Calgary, they will win the game. And scoring 3 goals. Why is that magic? Carolina is 15-2-2 when they score at least 3.
Off the draw now, in control, Schmid. He'll move it. Read by Radek Dvorak. His shot blocked by Schmid. He gets it back. Negated by Backlund. Played here by Yuri Hudler, who's having a nice season coming over to the Calgary Flames.
I have spent the last year in the KHL. Learned, as we've talked about before, the right way in the Detroit Red Wing organization, but did not make the Czech Olympic team, surprisingly.
That's on. He has impressive statistics. Comes all the way back. He's responsible for a large percentage of their total offense. Now, Chris Butler goes D to D. Tight turn by Ladislav Schmid ahead of Pat Dwyer. Butler awaits the pass. The former Buffalo Sabre out to center. Chipped along by Brian McGrattan, and the Canes get it back.
And Hudler, in his playoff career with Detroit, has been a money player. He's scored some big goals.
Westgarth with a steal, looking for McGrattan, who had the only goal for Calgary in regulation back on the 12th of December against Carolina. Now Lyles in tight. An excellent skater, as we see, sets up Ryan Murphy, and away they go. Nathan Gerby through the center zone. Back again for Lyles. Off a couple of sticks. Calgary in control, and both teams can change on the fly.
I'll admit it, when they were first put together, Murphy and Lyles, I said, wow, this is going to be interesting. They have had a heck of a plus-minus rating together.
Colburn, Brodie, TJ Brodie. Sean Monahan for Brodie. Right out in front. Fanning on it was Paul Byron. His stick was tied up. Carolina attempts to get it out, and we will have a penalty called here. We'll tell you about it when we return. 12:27 left to go in period 1. Just underway in Raleigh. Carolina's Alex Semin, who's guilty for slashing here, Tripp, and Calgary will go to the power play.
Yeah, these are tough ones. Left side of your screen, there could have been a cross check because unfortunately he was on the wrong side of the puck, and then you see the slash on the rookie Sean Monahan. And these are the types of stick plays that are just truly avoidable. I mean, I go back several years ago. The year the Hurricanes won the Cup in practice, if you committed a stick penalty, you dropped and did 50 push-ups.
Right.
That, I think, polices it quite well.
Calgary has struggled, as we see the numbers, with their power play. 28th overall, 27th on the road. They are 1 for 21 in the last 5. For Carolina, 25th on the kill, 22nd at home. This is their captain, Mark Giordano, broken up by Andre Sekera. He'll clear it all the way back.
And you want to pressure a power play like this. The Flames thought that this was a man advantage that could have gotten them over the hump against Pittsburgh.
Now Stempniak with a shot just wide of Hudobin. Top of your screen, Dennis Weidman. He loads the gun. Locked on the way through, loose to the corner. Yuri Hudler in control. Through the slot, now it's Weidman. Holding on to it. One-timer, Giordano, it's tipped. Loose, Backlund off the skate of Stempniak. Losing his stick, Patrick Dwyer up top for Carolina. To the bench for a new one. Giordano off the pad of Anton Hudobin. Puck is loose along the boards. Giordano. Michael Backlund. His pass detected by Justin Falk. Broken up by Jordan Stahl, not out. Stempniak sets up Weidman. Here it comes, stopped by Hudobin. Backlund has control. He's defended by Falk. It's loose, Pat Dwyer's on it, and out she goes.
Anton Hudobin has made 3 pretty darn close to A saves in this hockey game, as there's been no question that Calgary's had the early edge.
Out shooting Carolina, 6-1. Byron. Second unit comes out. Monahan, the rookie, taken care of, and it's flung out of the zone by Brett Belmore.
Boy, a power play that doesn't have a good conversion rate, but some guys that can really fire away. Weidman, I don't believe was healthy the last time we saw Calgary. And Giordano, of course.
He was not. He's missed 16 games with a broken hand. Out of the corner now. Monahan is roughed up by Belmore. Nathan Gerby working hard. Colburn back to the point. Punched along by Butler. Inside for Paul Byron. Byron now. Indirect pass for Butler. Holding. Shooting one. Stopped by Hudobin. And a penalty is called out in front.
Well, we may have just seen, it's less than 10 minutes in, a point in this game that we look back to at the end of the night. Because this was a good-looking Calgary power play. You see up top, Dwyer breaks his stick. And so a 5-on-4 becomes really a 5-on-3, and a smart job by Hudler taking advantage. Heck of an explosive save on the blocker. There, Bob Gorman. What a reach from Gorman, trying to get Dwyer back in the play as soon as possible. And then at the end of it, Byron takes a penalty.
Certainly did. Carolina has their first power play. Paul Byron in the box. And he is gone for interference as he picked off Nathan Gerby. Carolina number 26 with their power play. 26th at home. Calgary number 16 with the kill. They get it deep. Around the boards, Butler. Tied up, Elias Lindholm is on him to the point. John Michael Lyles. Drilling across for Skinner, this way it's Semin. Alex Semin now with a turn. He'll address it from the half wall. Semin delays. Fans in a pass, gets it back, now Lyles. Around the clock, Skinner, his shot. Off a stick, it goes high, it stays in play. Lyles again, with a shot, tipped wide of Rommel. Skinner locates the puck. Pestered by Giordano. Eric for Skinner, broken up here by Boma, who can't get it out. Now Butler has plenty of time, and he will.
Ron Hainsey, the Hurricanes had been down to 5 defensemen, had some type of an equipment issue. Might have been the skate. I don't know, but he has just returned to the bench.
Now Lyles. Nathan Gerby. Over the line, he gains entry. His shot deflects wide. Good block by Schmid out of the corner. Jordan on and off his stick. T.J. Brody defends it. Backhand shovel through the center zone and all the way back in Canes ice.
Just missed Backlund with the breakaway pass. Backlund was Calgary's best player at home on Saturday.
And scored at home in almost 200 minutes of time until he did Saturday night, but it wasn't enough against Pittsburgh. Now out of the corner. Talusti, kind of by Schmid. Here's Jordan. Talusti at his side. After missing 8 games with that appendectomy, has control. Zalusti with a shot off a body off Brody. Getting to it is Nathan Gerby. Back to the point. At the line, Justin Falk. He'll look it over. Gerby again. They play catch. His shot turned out by Kari Ramo. Good bid by Falk. Top of your screen now, Nathan Gerby holding on to it. Here's Falk again at the center point. Now Sekera. His shot blocked by Brody as Byron is out of the box. Nathan Gerby out of the corner, defended by Schmid. In control, Jordan Stahl. Stopping and starting. TJ Brody is all over him, loose along the boards. Zalusti broken up by Paul Byron, and away go the Flames out to center ice.
That was a pretty good-looking power play in the second half. And let's see, with the Flames having had the momentum, if Carolina can reverse it with a little boost from it.
Now a chance in tight. Hudobin said no on Monahan. Second chance is blocked, and Carolina will clear it all the way back.
Boy, pretty effective forecheck, huh?
Very much so. They have jump. Now Malholtra around the boards. They being Calgary on that forecheck. Now Tuomo Ruutu. Wheeled off for Lindholm. Ruutu overskates. He gets it back. Tuomo Ruutu holding onto it. All the way across for Belmore. Here it comes. Tipped wide. Lindholm out in front. And it's covered by Kari Ramo. 7:29 left to go in period 1. Each team has had a power play. We remain scoreless here in Raleigh.
Back in the first, we are scoreless. When it comes to playing games, Eric Stahl has missed very few in his entire NHL career, but the last 3 games he was sidelined with a lower body injury and got a unique perspective on the game and gave me this observation for our Geico quote. He said, "The biggest thing is there's no individual person that by themselves are going to get the win. It's so evident, especially when you watch from up top, that it takes everybody pulling together the rope to get the job done." And he said every player bringing their best game for all 60 minutes was the key to that winning streak. Guys?
Well, listen, they're thrilled to have the captain back who's played 98% of the games.
Riley Nash, who's back in tonight, blocked by Vladislav Schmid. Over now on Nash. Dvorak down deep. The fourth line is out for Kirk Muller. Tonight it's Riley Nash, Jiri Tlusty, and Radek Dvorak.
98% of Stahl's the games that Carolina's played in his career. With that being said, it's a big boost that they won 2 big games with him out of the lineup. That's a good thing for this hockey.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, as somebody penned once and reported.
Ooh.
Meatloaf now down low.
Of course.
Brian McGrattan off of Hudobin and cleared all the way back out.
We used to have a fine director who's now in Tampa that looked a little bit like Meatloaf.
Oh, we did.
It was, well, it would have been nice, comfortable, warm food when we were in Alberta with record lows.
Now from neutral ice, flung deep by Yuri Hudler. Out to play it, Anton Hudobin, legally in that trapezoid. Backlund off the stick of Hudler. It's loose for Lyles. He's pestered by Stempniak. Lee Stempniak had it, lost it. Here come the Canes out to center ice. You're looking at Jeff Skinner. He'll pull up, delay, hit Murphy, and it deflects wide as Ramo got a piece of it. Well conceived play and a beautiful pass from Skinner to Ryan Murphy. Now Hudler over the line to the outside. TJ Brody. He'll circle. Hang on to it. Brody all the way back up top. Point to point they go. Giordano with a shot answered by Anton Hudobin. Giordano again. He'll settle it down. A wrister this time through a screen wide. And it's played here by Jeff Skinner.
The reason that was such a well-conceived play is because the Hurricanes had puck support. They wanted numbers in their own end and were able to come up the ice with speed. Murphy jumped in at the right time. It's a game about outnumbering wherever the puck is, but that takes effort.
And Calgary right now, as we saw, outnumbering Carolina in terms of shots on goal in this first period. It's cut off by Patrick Dwyer. Little backheat from Sean Monahan. Monahan on him. Along the boards now, Joel Colburn back out to center ice. Through the center zone, Schmid is up on the play, moving it by Falk. Justin Falk, Vladislav Schmid come together. They jam along the boards. Out of that 2-man, make it 5-man scrum now. As the players back off, Wes McCauley tells the boys, move the puck, they comply. Out of the corner, Colburn, Paul Byron to the point. Monahan underneath it off the body, off Justin Falk out in front. Dwyer tries to golf it out of the zone. Carolina having a hard time working the puck from their own zone.
Well, for whatever reason, not to provide an excuse, but when you have 2 full days off, players like to play every other day. It seems that there's an advantage for the teams that play regularly.
Jordan Stahl kicked down with a purpose by Kari Ramo. The Flames try to get it out. Hainsey had a tough time. Now Gagliardi over the line. He'll pull up. His shot body down. Hudobin gives up a rebound and getting to it. Matt Stajan, his pass is centered out in front. And Hudobin got across to the post. Now they battle him back of the goal as we see Gagliardi. Matt Stajan, here's Dennis Weidman. He'll dust it off. Lay it across. Get it back now. Weidman with a shot swallowed by Hudobin, and we get a stoppage. 4:14 left to go in period one. Jeff Skinner pulls up and spots Ryan Murphy. Kari Ramo got a piece of that. And who runs the Carolina defense, assistant coach Dave Lewis, has done a nice job with this individual. Coors Light, cold hard facts. Number 73, Red Belmore, rookie leaders. In terms of hits, Mr. Belmore right behind the hard-hitting Ratko Gudas of Tampa Bay.
It was a long road for Belmore to the NHL, but he is the story of a guy that played several seasons in the American League and then literally took advantage of his first chance, where among others he made an excellent impression with Dave Lewis, where Dave Lewis probably didn't see him more than just a depth defenseman with major injuries on the blue line. Then all of a sudden Dave walked away and said, this guy might be able to play.
Well, no one saw him as our tweet man, but he is tonight. Tweet at Kane, Brett Belmore, with Chantel McCabe between periods 1 and 2. Look forward to that. It comes all the way. That's become a very popular feature, as icing is called here, for those that enjoy Twitter.
Well, let's hope that we've got a popular feature from a Kane's early chance. It will show momentarily, but he's from Windsor, Ontario, but played across the Detroit River in Plymouth with Mike Vellucci's crew.
The fourth-round pick in 07. Off the draw, it lay loose, and Carolina got to it. It was Lyles. Now Kevin Westgarth, the former Hurricane, this way for Dennis Weidman. Shane O'Brien holding, shooting one, negated by Elias Lindholm. Good play by the rookie, and it comes all the way back.
Well, I told you before, John, actually Team Sweden, because they think blocking shots is so important, they actually practice it on day of the game skates to make sure players know how imperative it is that they get in those lanes.
They do a lot of the intangibles well, the Swedes, and they are very much in contention at the Winter Olympics. Now it's broken up by Sekera. Skinner all the way across. Semin outside the line. He'll dump it in. Hard around it goes. Getting to it, Mark Giordano, and he'll settle it down.
Well, they're definitely in contention after they see that Lundqvist seems to be rounding into form, one of the stars of the week in the league.
Boy, he's a third star this week. He was great last night against Philly. Broken up here by Jordan Staal, and they carry it back out. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Jordan to the outside. The pass unattainable for Alexander Semin. Belmore traps the zone, sends it around this way. Hainsey shakes off a man. He gets to it. Ron Hainsey in a battle here along the boards. As he's tied up, Hainsey tries to dig free as Yuri Hudler was going down in an attempt to get the puck out, throws the puck, and we get a stoppage.
John, in hockey terms, this is the slash, a player that comes across, and he makes the whole difference. You see the puck support, but if Skinner doesn't slash across, this play doesn't happen. Staal takes it off the skates. Skinner now is at top speed. Murphy picks the right time to jump. But that is, whenever you hear us talking about the slash, that was it perfectly from Skinner.
Hainsey now for Nathan Gerby. Negated by Schmid. He stays with it. Spinning off the big guy. Gerby controlling. Floored by Schmid, who has the puck. And away go Calgary out to center ice. Gagliardi, a native of Calgary. That Stajan shot turned out by Anton Hudobin, who's been very sharp in this first period. Ron Hainsey in control.
If the Hurricanes win this hockey game, they're going to look back to Hudobin's work in the first period as being his most decisive time period.
Now it deflects. Gagliardi, Stajan. That Stajan in control. He'll roll it in. Calgary gets a change. Just about 18 minutes gone in period one. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always. Canes will be back here against Florida on Saturday night. We have it on Fox Sports Carolinas, starting with Hurricanes Live at 6:30. Paul Byron tied up by John Michael Lyles. Back it goes, a quick shot. Hudobin said no. On the bid that time by Giordano. They move it down the wall, out of the corner now. TJ Brody in control. Stopping and starting for Calgary. Brody goes to work on Talusti. Sets up Giordano. It's blocked on the way through. As it careened off a body, deflecting off Radek Dvorak and going out of play. Time for the Moe's Southwest Grill. Hey, what do you say, queso player? Tonight it is Yuri Talusti. If he scores, all Caniacs receive a free side of Moe's famous queso and hot fresh chips tomorrow at any Triangle locale.
We just saw a very teachable moment for Ryan Murphy. Eric Carlson, by the way, a Norris Trophy winner, does the same thing at times. You try to beat the entire opposition, and you end up turning the puck over at the offensive blue line. When you're doing things with your speed, know that men are going to be open and teammates are going to be available.
Schmid in low. Came across in November from Edmonton. Very rarely you see a trade like that. Those two rivals now stall. Quick shot. Ramo makes the save. The opportunity that time by Elias Lindholm. Overskating as Manny Malhotra, brought out of the zone by Calgary. Lee Stempniak. Playing that nicely was Andrei Sekera. Justin Falk tries to move it by the two forecheckers, but one of them, Michael Backlund, is in control. Broken up by Falk. Now Holtra away from Stempniak. Backlund inside. Hudler. This way Brody. His shot just wide, and Hudobin had the angle. Giordano at the point. TJ Brody holding onto it. A high spot. Backlund. His big blocker down by Hudobin. Mark Giordano in control. Again for TJ Brody. He'll think about a shot. Move it across. Calgary dominating the shots in period one. Brody now with a bid. Locked in front. Lindholm has it for Carolina. Not out. Giordano holding on to it off the skate of Manny Malhotra. And finally it comes back. 19 seconds left in the period.
Well, you need it in a long season, and the Hurricanes don't live on an island, but this has been an episode of Survivor.
Now turning out here is Alexander Semin. Brett Belmore off a stick. Stajan in control. Back out to center ice. 3 seconds left in the period. Matt Stajan pulls up. He's negated on the way through. That'll do it. Eric Stahl will be Chantel McCabe's guest when she kicks off the PNC Bank first intermission after the break. Calgary with 14 shots on Anton Hudobin, who was outstanding for the Hurricanes. 5 taken by Carolina, and we're scoreless. A little Monday Night Hockey inside PNC Arena. John Forsland, Trip Tracy, Chantel McCabe at ice level along with our fine crew. The first game of a 3-game homestand for the Hurricanes. They will have a back-to-backer on the weekend. Florida's here Saturday, Tampa Bay on Sunday. Pair of 11s, Michael Backlund for Calgary. Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes on the draw as the Flames get it all the way back in the Carolina zone. Anton Hudobin outstanding in period one with 14 saves. Yuri Hudler. Hudobin locates the puck and freezes. Let's take a look at the first period numbers brought to you by Buffalo Brothers. Oh man, now I want wings.
Well, you're making me want wings.
You should.
And I know Bob Hartley wants wins, and he has continued to keep the positive focus. And you have to compliment him. I said, what's been the biggest challenge for a championship coach like you? Because he won a Stanley Cup in Colorado, won a Calder Cup in Hershey. And he said, you have to know that you're building the right pillars that represent the bridge to go from being a young team to eventually a team that is a winning team. And he's done a fine job.
That Calder Cup in 1997, Stanley Cup with Colorado 2001. As it's carried along by Matt Stajan, and still the only coach in Atlanta Thrasher history to get them to the postseason, albeit in 4 games, a sweep by the New York Rangers, but he did it. And now Winnipeg is still looking for that postseason berth. Carried along by Stajan. Boma. Stajan. Oh, by Hudobin.
Boy, Hudobin continues to start periods on time, play consistent. It looks like there's a lack of communication here. I can just tell you, Hudobin did a good job of leaving it on his forehand. That's what you have to know as a goalie. Which guys are righties, which ones are lefties, because you leave the puck either close to the net or close to the boards because of that. But then you got to get out of the way. And I don't think Anton knew if he was going to leave it or play it. But if you're trying to get in a game, which the Hurricanes have to right now, communication is an important first step.
What we've seen of him, and he does so many things well, but handling the puck, not one of his fortes. Inside it goes Skinner. And Schmid, a good play on Alexander Semin. Calgary buzzes out. Michael Backlund. Backlund tries to go wide of Ron Hainsey. It goes deep. Eric Stahl broken up. Lee Stempniak wide open. Brody. It goes high. Hudobin attacking the puck and now freezing in back of the goal. And we get a break in play. And some pushing and shoving. Brett Belmore being involved for Carolina. And I believe Yuri Hudler also for Calgary.
The fight right now might do Carolina some good. Let's watch the garden spot here. Stop it right here. Simmons, you know what? With the Hurricane system, he should not be on Schmid. He actually should be on the strong side point man to help support, or Skinner should have it. That's the reason that Brody literally comes in. I mean, that's about as clean of a look as you're going to find. That's way too spread out play from the two wingers up top.
We're going to get matching penalties, Shane O'Brien and Brett Belmore. Some extracurriculars after the fact. And so it sets up a 4-on-4 situation.
Boy, that is a breakdown of defensive zone coverage. And for me right now, this is a time where Brett Belmore, if he's feeling the game, he should be thinking about trying to perhaps engage in an altercation with Shane O'Brien. And with the Hurricanes change in defensive zone play from their two high forwards, you have the two forwards coming way down into the screen. Semin typically would leave his weak side point man there and help out. But Skinner looks like he just lost Brody. So I think it needed to be a combined effort on those two high guys. And you never want to give up a chance like that.
Calgary 6-4, 5 against in 4-on-4s. Carolina has scored 4 times and yielded 6. It's loose along the boards, gathered in by Jordan Staal, and out they go. Over the line, Lyles for Gerby. Nathan Gerby turned out by Kari Ramo. Dug out by Gerby, denied by Chris Butler. Before that puck got to Kari Ramo. And now Butler deep in his own zone. Back out to center. Backlund drops it off for Stempniak and gets it back. Michael Backlund off the stick of Lee Stempniak. Stempniak along the boards. Backlund again. Holding onto it inside for Weidman. The defenseman up on the play, Dennis Weidman. Threads along for Stempniak. Loose side of the goal. Punched out by Hudobin. Backlund again holding onto it. Wrestled a bit by Murphy. Stays with it. Good work by Michael Backlund. On the tape of Lee Stempniak, who gets some space away from Lyles. He'll sail it ahead to an open corner. On a change, getting to it is Matt Stajan. Stajan lays it back. Hudler holding. Giordano whistles wide. Getting to it is T.J. Brody. Stajan one more time. His pass momentarily picked off by Jordan. Giordano brought it back in, offside, so we get a whistle. Caniacs catch a full hour of Carolina Hurricanes hockey talk with Mike Maniscalco. Coors Light Canes Corner at the Backyard Bistro. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Special guest Eric Staal. You can also listen in on 99.9 The Fan.
Boy, is Calgary using their points. And what happens is you get hemmed in your own end for a long time. Nathan Gerby, for instance, his average shift length in the first period was 1:01. And there were some other high shift lengths. And that just can't continue.
Over the line now, Skinner for Carolina. Sekera, checked by Giordano. Hudler lights off a man, fighting off and turning away from Eric Staal. Yuri Hudler alertly reverses here for Giordano. Hudler awaiting the pass that goes by him, all the way in on Hudobin, who leaves it for Sekera. He'll circle, wind away from Hudler, and set up Eric Staal. Staal outside the line, pulls up. Threads it across by Giordano. It rolls in past Ramo on a weird play, and now Giordano has control.
Well, you look at our chalkboard between periods, that is what Andrej Sekera needs to do. Such a good skater. Use the net as his friend, and then his skating ability can do the rest. Take that out.
Chris Butler, native of St. Louis, over the line, walks in. 3 Hurricanes converge on him. One of those, Nash, tries to spring Tulusty. Schmid now back in his own zone. He'll be representing the Czech Republic at the Olympics. Monahan over the line looking for Paul Byron. Negated. Gary Tulusty on the off wing, pulls up. Throws it across off the stick of Colburn and back out. Kari Ramo leaves it there. Just about 4 minutes gone in the second period. Still goalless here in Raleigh. And it's Weidman. A quick up, chipped along by Sean Monahan. Comes all the way back for Ron Hainsey. At the point, Shane O'Brien. Inside it goes. Colburn awaiting the puck. Joe Colburn holding onto it on a cycle. To the point man, Weidman. And this Weidman plays it along. Chip there by Monahan. Colburn swoops in. Delays. Broken up by Dwyer. Gained by Hainsey. But the Hurricanes again having a tough time getting it out. Brett Belmore. Byron finishes him off. Nathan Gerby away with Pat Dwyer. Here they come. Gerby holding on to it. Shut down by Ramo twice as Gerby had the rebound.
What a play by Belmore. He's the guy with that nifty backhand play. I have to think that there had to be communication for him to go to the middle of the ice like that. And it leads to a 2-on-1.
Through the center zone and in. Eric between the legs of Semin. Calgary starts back. Moved along by T.J. Gagliardi. A tight turn. Ryan Murphy. Giordano at the point. A wrister. Off Murphy's glove. Boma in control. Behind Matt Stajan. Gained by Eric Stahl. And away go the Hurricanes, an attempt to get it out to neutral ice. They're being outshot 16-8 in this second period. In terms of period 1 and 2 total. Now out the center. Played here by Eric Stahl. Stahl's pass unattainable for Jeff Skinner. Icing is called.
Let's take a look at this play from Brett Belmore. We saw the tough interchange earlier between Belmore and Hudobin. He took a look. There might have been a yell, too. And that's why he makes the play. Because otherwise, a player like Belmore, low-risk player, would have gone up the boards. Pays to take a look that he takes the hit. Gerby takes the ice, decides to not challenge the shooting, the passing lane, and fires the puck. Good save from Ramo.
Backlund trying to go forward. Now Senin away from Stempniak. Swept along by Jeff Skinner. Short-hopping Ramo, who leaves it there for Chris Butler. Carolina is out shooting Calgary 5-2 so far in the second period. Sekera is back, turning away from Stempniak. The official going down. Wes McCauley appears to be okay. Carolina will escape harm and get it back.
McCauley refereed the Stanley Cup Finals very deservingly. He went down in the first period as well behind the Carolina net, so he's had a tough night.
Schmid now. His dad played in the Olympics in 1964. Glad he's senior.
And it seems that good refereeing genes are hereditary because Wes is one of the best.
John McCauley, the late John McCauley, outstanding Hall of Fame National Hockey League official. His dad now in control. Schmid out to center ice. Brian McGrattan, the tough guy with a hard around. A chip by Justin Falk, gloved down by Dennis Weidman at the point. Converged on by Riley Nash. Now Kevin Westgarth tries to set up Brian McGrattan. Here they come. Brian Street recalled today from Abbotsford of the American Hockey League in control. He'll get it deep. Played here by Justin Falk. Now again they try to get it out and they do. Carried out by Yuri Talusti. Elias Lindholm. Easy chance for Ramo. He'll corral it. 13-16 left to go in the second period. Sometimes the officials are in harm's way. Wes McCauley was, but he's okay. We're back right after this.
Back in the second, and we see Brett Belmore, who spent 4 full seasons in the AHL, almost 300 games before getting his first chance to play in the NHL last season. Jeff Daniels, the coach for the Charlotte Checkers, uses 73 as an example when teaching other players to stay patient and paying your dues. He says sticking through it through the ups and downs, becoming mentally tough were what was instilled in Belmore. Daniels also says he was such an underrated player and doesn't get enough credit for his hockey sense. He says his success in the NHL can be contributed to his physical presence, plus handling and accepting his role on the team, and we've seen him do that tonight in the second period. John and Tripp.
Well, Chantel, also to be mentioned is Jordy Kinnear, who helps Jeff Daniels out, specifically develops defensemen. Kinnear, a former defenseman. Glenn Wesley developing defensemen, and Corey Stillman developing the forwards as we've seen major production from Charlotte. How about the boys winning on the road in Oklahoma City over the weekend?
Couple of games, right?
You bet.
Excellent job by Jeff Daniels and crew. And the subject of Mr. Wesley, he's heading to Charlotte tomorrow. And he'll be there all week working with the young defenseman. Now Stempniak. Michael Backlund to the outside of Ron Hainsey. Moved along by Giordano. This is Stempniak holding on to it. Good work right out in front. Hudobin says no. Hack and whack time in the crease.
Still fought for at the side of the goal. Jeff Skinner hammers one and clears it all the way back. It won't make the line, so play will continue.
Hudobin continues to stand tall. The Hurricanes have got to play harder hockey. Seven can't reach for that puck, making a hope play for a 2-on-1. You have to play through the man, or at least keep that point man between you and the net. You see what it can lead to.
Well, Calgary, it's been well documented. They just can't score, but their work ethic is outstanding, and it's showing again here tonight. Colburn hammered by Schmid off a body off Hainsey. To the corner it goes. Byron got there. Carolina attempts to get it out. They don't. Byron. Sean Monahan taken care of by Patrick Dwyer. They do win a battle here and clear it out. Punched right back by Butler. Punched again by Ron Hainsey. And Ramo will play it.
I mean, I am truly impressed with the work ethic of the Calgary Flames throughout the first half of this hockey game.
Now Justin Falk will start from his own zone. Calgary dropping back in the center zone. So he lays it along here. Dennis Weidman pressured by Falk. Riley Nash on Shane O'Brien, and Dennis Weidman is injured.
Well, we've seen a couple of these plays, even with the advent of hybrid icing, which I think has been very, very good. I know the big chatter is, okay, is there going to be a big missed hybrid call in the playoffs, and what's going to happen with that? This was obviously not going to be icing. It's an inadvertent leg-to-leg collision between Falk and Weidman. Weidman has had a history of some nasty leg injuries. Don't know what the injury is here. Let's hope he's okay. Former Boston Bruin, St. Louis Blue, Florida Panther.
And he's always been a coveted guy. Can play the power play, can move the puck. And he's always been a guy at the deadline teams have been after.
And John, by the way, I've heard rumors he's in town. If by any chance our good friend, very fine Hurricane Yoni Pitkanen is watching,
I hope he...
Yoni, we miss you.
We do.
We hope you're doing well. And now, you want to talk about a guy that knows the league and watches all games on off nights, whether he's healthy or not. Yoni Pitkanen is that guy.
He's been checking in with some of the club officials, and I did have a tweet the other night about Yoni, and he's rehabbing. That's all we can tell you about his status, but he has been in the area. He's been back and forth, but he's spent considerable time here in Raleigh. He's all the way in on Anton Hudobin. Fanning on it, Gagliardi. Schmid now will cover it up and lay it back for Chris Butler. The Flames have had the puck a great deal. They'll get it deep again. Anton Hudobin out to play it. Along the board, Stajan seals the wall for Calgary. Attempts to kick it ahead, broken up by Nash, not out. Lance Boma inside. Ryan Murphy picks it up, takes a hit from Gagliardi. TJ Brody off the stick of Riley Nash. Gagliardi inside for Stajan, guarded by Lyles. Heading to it now is Elias Lindholm. And away they go. Here's Riley Nash. He's missed the last few of the lower body concern, and it comes all the way back in.
Well, something to try to turn the momentum as the Hurricanes can start playing more north-south, just to find their game. Nothing east-west. Everything's got to go deep. Eric Stahl mentioned it in the interview after the first period.
Just about halfway through. John Tripp and Chantel with you as always here on Fox Sports Carolinas. Canes and Panthers Saturday night. Dvorak. You see it from ice level. Defended by TJ Brody. Inside it goes. Moved by Tuomo Ruutu. Dvorak looking for Ruutu off the referee. Gained by Giordano. Went off Wes McCauley. And out they come.
That was a tough break, but that started with
Sakharov with a shot off the mass and high. Ruutu had the rebound. And I believe the first one caught Ramo square. Along the boards now, Dvorak. Inside, Malhotra for Carolina. One-timer Dvorak canceled on a block that time. Paul Byron with the block. Here's Sakharov holding onto it away from Brian McGrattan. Lurking is Dvorak in back of the goal. Radek Dvorak holding onto it for Carolina. Will dangle a bit. Off Brian Street. Now Ruutu on his man. Malhotra with a spinner wide of Ramo. This way for Justin Falk. Lay it down deep. Centered by Dvorak. Blocked by Brody. Loose side of the goal. Fanned on by Eric Stahl. McGrattan out to center ice. And Calgary needs a change. They'll get it.
Boy, heck of a pad save by Ramo on Stahl. That all started with a good dump in. Ruutu with speed.
Stahl centers one. Ramo makes the save. Loose side of the goal. And Tuloski had the chance. And Calgary will ice it as the Hurricanes come to life. And so does the crowd here at PNC Arena.
different coaches have different styles. Bob Hartley may call his timeout here. The Hurricanes want to look for this hurry-up face-off because you can see Ramo's even tired. Let's see if they keep playing. This is where, there's an ice issue, which will buy the Flames a couple extra seconds, but this whole sequence might turn this whole game, and it started with just getting the puck, moving forward, getting in with first man pressure from Route 2.
Eric Stahl, Alexander Semin, Yuri Tlusty back together. The top line that we talked about last season in the Open tonight, and their success in the abbreviated campaign off the draw. Michael Backlund tries to clear Brody, paired with Butler. Here's Chris Butler. He'll hinge ahead, lift it out to center. At the line, Hudler was offside, so we get a stoppage. 8:38 left to go in the second period. Canes assistant coach John McLean with Chantel McCabe when we come back.
In the second, I'm on the bench with John McLean. Work ethic is a term commonly associated with the Calgary Flames. What do you want from your forecheck tonight?
Well, first of all, we have to match your work ethic, and I think we're starting to come here. And as you saw the last couple shifts here, if we keep our first and second guy, we got to get on their D a little bit more, in which we did the last two shifts there. Now we got to build on that and just keep working, and again, match their work ethic.
Thanks.
Okay.
I agree. The last couple of shifts may potentially have turned the tide of this game that Calgary has had a big edge in, and I think it started again with, instead of trying those low-risk cross-ice passes, just keep it going forward and get in with speed to get on those defense.
The Hurricanes right now out shooting Calgary in this period 9-3 after being outshot 14-5 in period 1. Semin threads it across. Brody is back ahead of Tlusty. Again, Eric, Tlusty, and Semin on this first line. Sean Monahan, indirect pass for Joe Colburn. It comes all the way back. Lyles in the corner. Pinned by Calgary's Colburn. He's a big body at 6'5". Lyles stays with him as they scrum. 8:03 left to go in the second period. Scoreless hockey here in Raleigh. John Michael Lyles wheels it this way for Ryan Murphy. Now he'll just shoot it back out through center and all the way back.
Well, that was a good reverse there from Lyles at the end of a shift to be able to find Murphy. Now, you can't make a tape-to-tape pass, but you get out.
And that's the most important thing. Now Byron. Schmid hampered by Jordan. Good job. Jordan Stahl works hard. Can't come up with it, though. And it's cleared ahead by Colburn back out to the center zone. Justin Falk fanning on a pass. Off the glass and all the way back. Ladislav Schmid coming all the way back here for Calgary.
Well, the forwards have to come back so they give Falk an option other than just, flipping that puck forward. That's the absolute identity of a team that has good back pressure.
Chris Butler checked by Patrick Dwyer. Matt Stajan fights off Riley Nash. TJ Gagliardi played last season in San Jose. Out to center, Byron. Back checking him was Riley Nash, and Carolina, as we see, takes over. Under 7 minutes left in the second period. Lindholm. Shane O'Brien, the veteran, back in his own zone. Lays it across for Weidman. Stajan. Neutral ice, closing the gap was Justin Falk. And this Weidman now will cushion it down deep.
Now to see Khudobin take a look. Well, he decides first man pressure from Calgary, so he decides to play it. Otherwise, he's got to know that Falk is a righty and Secker is a lefty and determine where to leave that puck.
Calgary has lost 3 in a row. Carolina coming off a 3-0 shutout in Columbus on Friday, but the Hurricanes have won 5 of their last 6. It goes by Gagliardi, comes all the way back in the zone. This is icing against Calgary.
Neat story, John. Bob Hartley grew up a Montreal Canadiens fan, and when the old Forum in Montreal became no longer, he got an old seat, and he only asked a handful of Canadians, his favorite Canadians, to sign it. And when we were in Calgary in December, Kirk Muller was one of the guys that he asked to sign that memento. And I'm telling you, he only asked 3 or 4 guys, and they're all Hall of Famers, to sign that memento from the Montreal Forum.
Those seats were all wood, every single last one. Off the draw now. Lyles blocked on the way through. Murphy holding onto it. His shot taken care of by Kari Ramo, and a disturbance. Eric Stahl. Shane O'Brien. Nothing will come from this. 6:09 left in the second period.
Good face-off win on Stahl's strong side. Calgary actually has had a heck of a face-off night. Remember I said, well, maybe Bob Hartley would call his timeout with tired crew in that same face-off circle earlier in the period. Well, Backlund had won the majority of his draws. And, you start to win face-offs, you can turn the tide of a game. Leads immediately to a chance. Ramo was able to deny a second opportunity.
This line is Nash, Skinner, and Lindholm for Carolina. Off the draw, Brody. Behind Lee Stempniak. This will be icing again against the Flames. Just about 14 minutes gone in the second period.
Okay, so this is where having Riley Nash back in the lineup helps because he's a righty that can actually take faceoffs. He's going to try to power this back. Now he could actually take a chance because Lindholm is a righty too if he gets booted.
Michael Backlund on the draw for Calgary. The Flames will get possession. Lee Stempniak looks around. One of the few Flames that will be unrestricted at the end of this season. They'll have some decisions to make by March 5th, which is the trading deadline. In control, TJ Brody will send it in. Andre Sekera for Carolina, this way for Justin Falk. Falk out of the corner, picked off by Stempniak. He sets up Backlund, canceled by Sekera. Now Brody with a wrister off the stick of Jeff Skinner, and it goes out of play. 5:33 left to go in the second period. Still looking for a goal in Raleigh. Calgary in town tonight. We take a look back at a very emotional night, late November 1999.
Well, as passionate of a hockey player as you ever were going to find, Steve Chiasson, after playoff series ended against the Boston Bruins, lost his life tragically in a car accident. Gary Roberts was on that team, of course, Captain Ron Francis, Glenn Wesley. And this is Sue Chiasson with Steve's kids, Carolina owner Peter Karmanos, and just an incredibly emotional night. And of course, Chiasson played for the Calgary Flames as well as the Detroit Red Wings, and there has been an annual award in his honor since.
And we will have a penalty here against Patrick Dwyer. Delayed whistle. The Flames send it all the way back. Holding will be the call on Dwyer, and Calgary will have their second power play.
And Dwyer was trying to create pursuit up the ice. And you see the use of the free hand. The referee's in good position. One of Steve Chiasson's sons actually is a very fine player at the University of Michigan, Michael, and he attended the Hurricanes prospect camp this summer.
That's right. Currently playing for the Wolverines. He's a defenseman. That's not a surprise. It's hooking officially. It'll look like, as you pointed out, he horse-collared his man. Nonetheless, hooking is the call. And Calgary has their second power play. Dvorak and Malhotra are up front for Kirk Muller to kill it off with Falk and Sekera back. Bob Hartley getting his crew out. Power play unit number 1, Giordano. Weidman on the points. Mark Giordano now rifles in around the boards, top of your screen. Overskated by Sekera. Malhotra going down. Battle won by Hudler. Now at the line, it's Weidman. Overskating Yuri Hudler. He'll get it back. On the half boards, he asserts. And it's Weidman. A play catch. Yuri Hudler. Through the seam, right out in front. They score! Michael Backlund finds a hole, and Anton Hudobin, power play goal. Calgary breaks the ice.
Well, sooner or later, if you play the way the Flames have, you're going to get a bounce. And that's exactly what they got, because this pass was intended to go across the seam from one side of the ice to the other. I think it hit a Carolina stick. Might even have been Skinner's. Manny's, maybe. And no, it hits the skate and then deflects right to the top of the crease. Yeah, Dvorak's skate, and Backlund is able to jab this thing home. I don't know why I said Skinner. He doesn't kill penalties. But Backlund has now scored the last 2 Calgary goals. And you might look at that and say fluky, broken play, bad bounce. But when you play the way the Flames have through almost 2 periods, you're going to get that type of bounce.
He records his 7th goal of the season. He was 24th overall in 07. Michael Backlund gets the goal. As comes all the way back in the Carolina zone. Power play goal for the Flames. They are 1 for 2 in that regard. Lance Boma out in front. Hudobin shuts it down. Great chance for Matt Stajan. Stajan centers again. TJ Brody looks around. Lance Boma poked off of his stick as it's cleared back out to center by Eric Stahl, who has it. Eric now faking a shot on Brody for Murphy, wedged along, but a good job by the Flames coming all the way back. Eric holding onto it. Out in front, punch! Off the body by Simmons. In control, Ryan Murphy. To the point, John Michael Lyles. He'll settle it down. The pass over the stick of Stahl. Nobody home out in front. Murphy thinks about a shot. Now it's Lyles. Lyles at the point. A wrister tip. Ramo gets in the way. Eric Stahl in control. Eric now holding onto it. Power move blocked by TJ Brody. He's checked by Yuri Talusti. They go to the corner. Forged out by Lance Boma. And Murphy was going off on a change, and now he plays it.
Well, on the shift after the goal, initially a good short side save from Hudobin, but then a good response.
Skinner tries to walk in. Great job by Brody. On him. In back of the goal. Brody tries to win another battle. Loose along the boards with Belmore. Brett Belmore fanning on it. Gained by Jeff Skinner. He'll dangle. Skinner lays it across. Hainsey off a body. Going down in front that time was Mark Giordano. Out of the corner. Elias Lindholm on TJ Brody. Riley Nash is canceled by Giordano, who separates him easily from the puck and gets it out.
Well, we don't see him play very often, but you can see why Giordano was a true candidate for the Canadian Olympic team. How about getting in there, finishing that check, winning the battle decisively, and coming up with the puck? I mean, you look at not this past lockout, the one before. He was on a team in Lowell, coached by Tom Rowe, that Cam Ward, Eric Stahl, Chuck Kobasu, Mike Commodore were all on. Tom Rowe loved this guy. Absolutely loved him. And he's now an NHL captain.
Free agent in 04, signed by this team. Weidman's shot blocked by Hudobin. He gave up a rebound. O'Brien's shot tipped wide by Michael Backlund. In control, Jordan Stahl back out to center. Over the line now, it's cleared all the way in on Kari Ramo. 2:27 left in the second period, 1-0 Calgary. Lee Stempniak just inside the line, Backlund. Off the stick of Hudler. Now Carolina will start again. With a pass that was detected. Battle ensues. Neutral ice. Forged along by Jordan Stahl. Ramo leaves it for Dennis Weidman. Shane O'Brien out of the corner. A quick up intended for Backlund. And now Ryan Murphy just inside the line with a turn as he tries to make it happen on Paul Byron. O'Brien tries to move it. Byron along the boards, feeds it all the way across. And Carolina will circle back. 1:48 left in period 2. Power play goal by Michael Backlund right now is the difference. It comes all the way in. Dennis Weidman. And back of the goal, Semin standing on a pass. Alexander Semin holding on to it now. All the way across. Murphy gets it. Walking the line. High slot. They turn it back to Semin. Delaying. One pass too many. Now Lyles holding on to it. Off the stick of Colburn, and Calgary survives. They get it out.
Boy, especially when you haven't scored, you have 16 shots. Murphy makes a heck of a play at the top. One more good pass. Alex Semin has one of the best shots in hockey. Unless he had no sight line because of the shooting lane, you have to shoot him.
Along the boards now. Then out by Schmid, played by Cagliardi, wide of Hudobin. Under a minute left in the second period. Stajan's pass. Momentarily detected by Skinner, then a heavy hit. Ron Hainsey knocked down by TJ Cagliardi. Here's Skinner, his shot. Knocked down by Kari Ramo, loose to the corner. Elias Lindholm broken up. Matt Stajan away now. And the Flames have some time to get it out. Schmid will elevate the puck end over end all the way down to Belmore. Broken up by Stajan, swept along by Ron Hainsey. Brett Belmore with a half-minute left in period 2. Out to center. Moving it by TJ Cagliardi. A drop pass. Elias Lindholm. Good play by Cagliardi. Now Stajan. Across for Chris Butler. At the line. He'll bank it off the boards and get it deep.
It's going to set the stage. At home of late, Carolina's best period has been the third. All year long, it's been the tentative period for Calgary.
Almost a steal by Tuomo Ruutu. 6 seconds left. Here's Backlund to the outside. Putting up on Hainsey, who blocks it. Backlund gets it back out in front. Tipped wide, looking for Stempniak as the horn sounds. And that'll do it here in the second period. Ron Hainsey will be Chantel McCabe's guest. She has the BNC Bank second intermission after the timeout. 1 goal has been scored tonight through 40 minutes. It belongs to the Calgary Flames, and it comes on the power play off the stick of Michael Backlund. Calgary 1, Carolina no score on Fox Sports Carolinas.
Carolina Hurricanes hockey is brought to you by Raleigh Orthopedics. Go where the pros go. Raleigh Orthopedic. By Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness. And by Ontario Tourism. Go fish at Ontario.com. Get hooked.
Back in the capital city of Raleigh, North Carolina, the Canes get set for the third period, and Chantel McCabe is standing by with Canes assistant Rod Brindamore.
Rod, you get the bird's eye view from above. What have you seen this game with this team?
Well, real slow start, and but the second half of that period, we started to get our legs going, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to get our back end skating, join the rush, and kind of turn this game into a little more speed game than a grind game, and make it happen.
Speed's the key. Thanks.
And maybe that speed trip can generate more chances.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty simple brand of hockey that they need to play. And it means, listen, when I think about speed, it's teams that play and buy into a structure. That's what makes you look fast. And their last couple of third periods dating back to New Year's Eve, by my rough numbers, they've outscored their opponent in thirds and overtime 7-2. So they should have that confidence building block.
John Forsman, Trip Tracy, and Chantel McCabe, who is at ice level, along with our fine crew. Third period unfolds here in Raleigh. Michael Backlund has the goal. Scored on the power play in the second period for Calgary. They have lost 3 in a row. Carolina has won 5 of their last 6. The Hurricanes started this evening 4 points out of third in the Metropolitan Division.
But Calgary did go into a tough building in Colorado recently and won there before losing in Phoenix, I think, the next night. So maybe getting out of the Saddle Dome is good for them because they play with less nerves.
It's 2 weeks in a row, the back-to-backers out of Calgary back home. They beat Colorado 4-3. The next night, they lost 6-0 in Phoenix. Went back home, and now this. Very odd. Come all the way east. Play 2. They're in Nashville tomorrow, and they go back home on Thursday night. Ramo moves it along. Mark Giordano off the glass and out of play. The Freeze Cam is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. We'll see the goal scored here and goes off the foot of Radek Dvorak. And then Michael Backlund will cash in.
Well, just at the top of your screen, you can see the captain, Giordano. That's why Dvorak is even in the position to try to deny that pass. So motion from the back end in this case, this isn't how you draw it up, but that creates the bounce, and Backlund is their hottest player right now with goals in consecutive games. And by the way, Backlund has also won 9 of 15 face-offs, a former first-round pick.
Young Swede, still developing and playing well under these conditions where they have been severely challenged in the Western Conference. Now it's centered out in front. As a matter of fact, they are 23 points out of third in their division. Cagliardi back to the point. Giordano, his shot. Big rebound given up by Hudobin, but Carolina will get it out. Here's Alex Semin off the stick, and playing it back is T.J. Brody. Giordano for Calgary takes a hit, clears it all the way back. Icing is called.
And we began our telecast talking about the Hurricanes needing big efforts from a big line last year that they got it from, and now they're back together.
If you're in Concord, or you want to go to Concord, do so on January 21st. Canes in Philadelphia. The next Cool Bars at the Carolina Ale House. Log on to CarolinaHurricanes.com for more details. Well, the boys are taking it on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, that deliver Cool Bars from the Fan Development Department, spearheaded by John Chase as that puck deflects on a play, and we get another stoppage.
And so you and I came on the air tonight, and we said, hey, listen, this is right about the time the lockout shortened season started, and these 3 guys formed one of the best lines in all of hockey. They didn't start the night together, but they're together now, and they need instant chemistry.
I got to find it now. Lyles will go deep. Blocked by Chris Butler. Indirect pass for Joe Colburn. Separated by John Michael Lyles, but they gave it away again. And Calgary had a choice to get it out, but too far here by Chris Butler. So another icing against the Flames. And we'll swing it back with just about 2 minutes gone in this third period.
And that big line comes on the ice. Bob Hartley has not used his timeout. Hey, hello to this guy. Marty Gelinas. What a great Hurricane.
Well, number 23 still looks young enough and fit enough to play.
He does.
He should accentuate fitness. He's in tremendous shape. Now, Murphy to the outside. Hammered by Semin, but mishit on a broken stick. Loose in back of the goal, dug out. Wheeled out by Sean Monahan. Colburn now through center, choked off. In the zone, turning here is Semin. Alexander Semin. Hooked a bit. Play will continue, and the Flames will survive as they get it out. Over the line now, Sean Monahan broken up by John Michael Lyles.
Boy, and Semin had gotten a stick from Bob Gorman. Gorman again delivers quickly, and he was just about to fire away. From that area in the middle of the ice, he would have been dangerous.
Now comes all the way back, Ryan Murphy. And back of Anton Hudobin, who was really tested in the first period. Calgary had 14 shots, as opposed to 5 taken by the Hurricanes. Now, Patrick Dwyer sneaks in over the stick of Jordan Staal. He's checked by Lee Stempniak. Moves to the corner, TJ Brody. Stempniak by Giordano. Moving down the wall is Andrej Sekera for Carolina. Sekera in back of the goal. Dwyer centers one. Good stick, Giordano. Ahead of Jordan Staal. And the Flames get it out.
Boy, he is an all-around player, Giordano is. Well, he is good.
Giordano. Moved off here for Michael Backlund. To the center zone and back. Belmore for Carolina. Chipped along by Radek Dvorak. It comes all the way back. And it's Weidman, the veteran, is on it. He'll move it along the boards by Hainsey. And we see it come all the way back in the Carolina zone. And another icing here against Calgary. We go down to ice level now, and Chantel McCabe.
Thanks, John. Well, tonight is Teacher Appreciation Night. Karen Dickerson sounded the cane siren this evening. She teaches English at Grimsley High School in Guilford County. She was named Teacher of the Year. Karen is one of 2,000 teachers here tonight taking in the action. And while many players said gym class, no surprise, was their favorite, Elias Lindholm said his favorite subject in school was math because he was one of the best students in that class. John Tripp.
It's interesting on that side. They come out with a right-handed centerman, Lindholm, to try to take that draw, not a lefty to power back. My favorite teacher, Mr. Conley, in the 4th grade, who introduced me to the book Tales of the 4th Grade Nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Now Dvorak will move it off a stick. We have many in attendance here tonight, which is great to see. The Hurricanes do this every season. Appreciate the teachers throughout the state of North Carolina. Now in control off the boards, Brian McGrattan. Kevin Westgarth is on the gallop, and he'll get to it. He'll move it along the boards. Joe Colburn keeps it deep for Calgary. This way it's Chris Butler at the point. He'll address it, get it deep. Out of the reach of Colburn, top of your screen. Ladislav Schmid inside for Colburn. Defended by young Elias Lindholm. Monahan had a steal from him, but Lindholm got it back. Now, Paul Byron in the skates of Chris Butler. Lyles hard pressed by Colburn. Monahan taken off it by Elias Lindholm. Will jam in back of the goal. Sean Monahan hands it off to Colburn. Calgary putting on some pressure here in terms of a cycle. Byron lays it across. Schmid with a shot easily detected by Anton Hudobin.
Calgary had iced the puck a couple of times, and the only thing I can think of is the coaches were playing a hunch here, because this was Lindholm's first face-off of the night, and he's a right-handed shot, so he's got to try to win it there on the forehand, which is tougher. That's why I thought they might come out with a lefty, but it might have been playing a hunch. And Lindholm, in his early career, has shown that I think he's ahead of the curve for a young player when it comes to face-off success.
Off the draw now. Hudobin leaves it for Ron Hainsey. Moved by Nathan Gerby all the way back. This will be icing against Carolina, as we have a battle of icings here in period 3.
Oh, and actually they're going to say here that this was the improper call, and I believe this face-off is going to come to the neutral zone.
I'll take that back. We don't have a battle of icings. Just stoppages.
We had it right. It's just that the Stanley Cup finalist Wes McCauley felt that the Carolina player had touched that puck, I believe, so they make the adjustment.
Which is a black and white rule this season. Adjustment from years past where he had a lot of interpretation as far as that was concerned. Shane O'Brien paired with Dennis Weidman. O'Brien now out of the reach of Lance Boma. Comes all the way back. Guess what? Icing. Tonight at 10, catch the season premiere of The Next Class, where 4-star safety DJ Smith, the number 17 overall safety in the nation, will be announcing his college decision live between the following schools: Clemson, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee, only on Fox Sports South.
Oh, good job there coming off the wing from Gerby to get that puck possession.
Matt Stajan for Calgary over the line. Pulls up to the outside of Falk. Centering feed. Hudobin, a collision as Dwyer collided with him. Now Gerby for Jordan, a give back. Sekera from his own zone starts his engine. Jordan tries to move it by Weidman, who plays it well. Dennis Weidman off the boards and all the way back to that Carolina blue line.
And remember, Weidman was hurt in the second period, so he's been able to come back from that.
Dennis Weidman, a good look. Semin goes to work, defended by Shane O'Brien. Weidman for Michael Backlund, and away they go. He has the game's only goal. Scored in the power play in the second period. Backlund on Yuri Talusti. Out of the four-man scrum, it's Eric. Flung across. Semin with a shot kicked out by Kari Ramo, who saw it all the way. 13:59 left to go in this third period. Calgary 1, Carolina no score. The retired sweater, number 2 of Glenn Wesley, and a proud moment today, Trip, for Wesley. Glenn and Barb Wesley and their family. Josh Wesley today was ranked number 79 by NHL Central Scouting in terms of top North American prospects, currently playing with the Plymouth Whalers of the Ontario Hockey League.
It's a tremendous achievement. It's a tremendous statement about Raleigh Youth Hockey as Josh went from playing in Raleigh Youth Hockey to the U.S. Development Program before playing for Mike Vellucci's Plymouth Whalers. And boy, the Plymouth Whalers have a bunch of players rated, but you know where he is, that if he goes there, that would put him in the top 3 rounds.
At 79, North America. That's a high rating. First year in the Ontario Hockey League. The Whalers have 6 players ranked right now. And there's a Hurricane tie-in as far as the European skaters are concerned, too. Kasperi Kapanen, the son of Sami Kapanen, is the number 1 ranked European skater.
I've heard unbelievable things about Kasperi. I remember when you and I first started working together how tiny he was. And he was even injured surrounding the World Junior Championships and still has maintained that ranking.
And Josh was trained here in Raleigh. Raleigh Youth Hockey, as Tripp pointed out. And that's great to see as you take a look at the shots on goal here tonight. Calgary has the advantage. They had a big lead, 14-5 in the first period. TJ Brody, long pass intended for Lance Boma. It comes all the way back. Play will continue. Good hustle by Gagliardi. Boma takes a hit to make a play. Gagliardi at his side. Manny Malhotra is on him. They jam in the corner and back it goes. Schmid with a shot swallowed by Anton Hudobin. Harris Teeter's signature subs are back. Come to North Hills. Harris Teeter, 120 St. Albans Drive in Raleigh. Thursday, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Meet Nathan Gerby, and he will have his top shelf sandwich on display for purchase. And you can also meet a great guy.
We just had a top shelf hybrid icing where the linesmen were right on their game, where both players reached the dots simultaneously, and they had to determine who was going to be able to play that puck first. I think they made the right call. John, let's look at this, but
all right,
goes to show that hybrid icing can still be dangerous. Watch this area right here. Yeah, I think the Calgary player wins by a hair. I mean, this is as tight. It's not even, it's the 2 far guys. And the linesman, I think, makes by a hair the right call, but you see that there still was a potentially violent collision. So I think it's progress, not perfection with the hybrid icing, but I still think that it's been a very, very good adjustment on the whole.
A little discussion in terms of the position of the next face-off. Struck a player along the bench, I believe. It's coming outside the line, right in front of Kirk Muller, who's trying to inspire his troops. 12:45 left in regulation time. Canes down by a goal as they start a 3-game homestand. Belmore fanned on one. Colburn got it back. Paul Byron, the outside of Manny Malhotra. To the point it goes. Schmid now will move it for Colburn. So Colburn stopping and starting. Angling off the skate of Hainsey, it's loose. There for the taking. And finally, Carolina wheels back out to center ice. Elias Lindholm will get it deep. Out of the corner. Ladislav Schmid gets to it for Calgary. Along the boards off John Michael Lyles, and it deflects in the Calgary bench.
Well, John Michael Lyles continues to be a big-time plus player for the Hurricanes. He's only been on for 1 goal against. Boy, +7. That's very impressive. And this is where you need guys like Lyles. You're down a goal. It's been a tight checking game. He and Murphy. This is when you're coming from behind. You need players like this puck-moving defenseman to make a play.
And it's Weidman coming all the way back. A little shovel off the glass. Not out. Jordan to an open corner. Ramo can't get to it legally. O'Brien away for Lance Bolma. It's got to get out for Calgary, and they do. This is TJ Gagliardi. Off the boards. Lyles defends on him. Jordan Staal. Cut it off, and away they go. Matt Dwyer over the line. Pushes everybody back. Delays to the outside of Shane O'Brien. Jordan shut down by Ramo. Rebound. Chance handle. Kari Ramo with his best sequence.
This is Jordan Staal. I don't know. This is where I think you could argue he's been as good of a forward as Carolina's had. He's the guy back to help out the defense, causes the turnover, gets it up quickly. Well defended by Calgary, and now trailing the play because he was helping out defensively. He nearly scores. And Kari Ramo is able, even though down, to make himself just as big as he possibly could to make the save.
Off the draw. Won by Michael Backlund away from Eric Staal. Here's Jiri Hudler. Back out to neutral ice. Andrej Sekera in control. Off a body, takes a hit. Just inside the line, Calgary gets it out. Backlund at the line with Stempniak. Michael Backlund going deep. Justin Falk for Carolina. Forechecking is Lee Stempniak. They jam along the boards. Sekera in tight quarters. Sets up Jiri Tlusty. Now Eric. Crisscrossing with Semin. It rolls in on Ramo. No further play.
That, to me, showed some cobwebs there. Eric Staal got that puck just inside the Calgary line, and when he's going, he's either driving or this is the chemistry. We talked at the top of our show. He and Semin don't have any chemistry here. Last year, I mean, it was a thing of beauty. It was a Picasso masterpiece, the way they read and reacted off of one another. Maybe it was the surprising Calgary stick, but the synergy just wasn't there on that rush because they had some room to open for business.
Face off as we see in the Calgary zone. Elias Lindholm, Tuomo Ruutu, Jeff Skinner, the forward line. Lindholm is given the boot, and now Ruutu will come in against Matt Stajan. Calgary in possession as we see Chris Butler off the boards. All the way back, Ron Hainsey swings it ahead. It's cut off and controlled by Ladislav Schmid. Hainsey paired with Belmore. Headmans for Tuomo Ruutu. At his side, Jeff Skinner. The back pressure by Gagliardi out in front. High in the air, gloved down by TJ Gagliardi. And away they go. Gagliardi has some room on Hainsey. Sets up a man, Byron. This way they score! Sean Monahan wide open. The rookie scores his 13th goal of the season. 2-0 Calgary.
No high forward. I'm surprised that Ron Hainsey would pick this time to pitch because there's still so much time to tie this hockey game. And Calgary executes beautifully. Okay, here's Hainsey right here. Let's watch all three forwards below the dot. Not the time to pitch. He's a good skater, but still, well, that's a really good play by the first Calgary player to make the pass, to create the 2-on-1. And Monahan actually, and I talked this morning, he's always been more of a pass-first guy, but now he has 13 goals in his rookie season with just 6 assists. But that was pressing too early without the right support.
He won 9 of 11 faceoffs Saturday night against Pittsburgh and now has scored his 13th goal of the season. As it goes by Ryan Murphy, and Anton Hudobin is out to play it. 10 minutes left here in this third period. Carolina down by 2. Nathan Gerby now off the glass and deep. And it's Weidman. Moves it along. Lee Stempniak out to center. Jiri Hudler in control. He'll cradle that puck. For the front, Backlund broken up by Lyles. Good play. Carolina escapes harm, and here they come. They're looking at Nathan Gerby, who gets it deep. High in the air now, knocked down by Lyles, gained by Jordan. Jordan Staal in control. Broken up by Giordano. Jordan again. Inside. Paul Byron and TJ Gagliardi get the helpers. On the goal by Sean Monahan, his 13th at 9:36. Eric Staal out in front. Swept wide. The chance that time for Jiri Tlusty. Out of the corner. Brody broken up by Semin. His shot off a stick goes out of play, and we get a stoppage. 9:10 left to go in regulation time. Calgary with a 2-goal lead, and the Hurricanes in desperate need of a comeback. Players with great futures in the National Hockey League. 5th overall, Elias Lindholm. And 6th overall, Sean Monahan.
And you really haven't seen a big-time wear down from either player as we're in the dog days of an NHL season. Lindholm has had a huge boost in energy since he came back from the World Junior Championship, and Monahan just scored a huge goal in transition after having, as you mentioned, the big face-off night. And I mean, even Sidney Crosby struggled in the face-off circle his rookie year. To have that type of night against Pittsburgh with draws tells you about Monahan.
They held Crosby in check on Saturday night. Lost the game 2-1 though. Sekera hit pinballs wide off Eric Stahl. Yuri Tlusty. Stahl, Tlusty, and Semin reunited in this one tonight. Now it's loose, poked back out to center ice. We have 8:42 left in this third period. 2-0 Calgary. Calgary looking for their 16th win of the season.
And Monahan's favorite players, by the way, were Forsberg and Yzerman as an Ottawa 67, but he was part of a rebuilding team in Ottawa last year and didn't complain, stayed the course after playing with some very good prospects the year before.
Out to center ice. Backlund. Stempniak to the outside. Carolina circling back. Manny Malhotra. Moving up on Butler, holding on to it. Shot taken, it ricochets high. Lindholm out in front to the center zone. Lyles, Stempniak, John Michael Lyles on the tape of Jeff Skinner. Away from Michael Backlund. Skinner over the line, moves in, off of Butler, rebound. Ramo got across. Back of the goal, Malhotra. Up top for Ryan Murphy, stopping ahead of Paul Byron. Moved by Malhotra. Here's Elias Lindholm for Carolina. Flushed out by Chris Butler. Malhotra back of the goal. Holding on to it, they grind a cycle. Up top it goes, converting to forehand. Lyles, Malhotra. A weak shot blocked by Backlund. Getting to Schmid, sealed off by Malhotra. Lindholm losing his stick, he gets it back, and now Calgary will advance out.
Flames have blocked a lot of shots at key times, haven't they?
They have. They've done a lot of the intangibles right. You have to be fair about this, and they have had a solid game from the beginning as it comes all the way back. Icing is called here. Let's take a look at tonight's Storm Tracker.
Oh, they've earned where they're at and locate the forecheck early. Calgary located theirs early and work before skill. I have asked in parentheses because especially the two Stalls, Semin, Skinner, the best players, and across the board, not just those S's. The Flames they've outworked Carolina, and the Magic number 3 goals for.
O'Brien with a shot through a screen wide of Hudobin. Shots are 25 Calgary, 22 Carolina. Carolina with 5 shots in this third period. Lyles, deflected pass. Dwyer hampered by O'Brien, and play comes to a halt. A hand pass is called here. We'll get a stoppage. We believe lightning can strike twice. We believe in family traditions. We believe only one place can turn superstars into legends. Tickets on sale now at Daytona500.com.
And just to repeat, the Magic number 3. All teams talk about it. Mike Camilleri, who is recovering from a concussion, he just mentioned it after the loss to Pittsburgh. It's amazing when you win on most nights. If you have decent team defense, if you score 2, you're going to get a point at least. If you score 3, you're going to win. That's why it's the Magic number 3. And Ramo has been practically mission impossible in the 2-game set versus Carolina.
Lance Bowman now through the middle. On the attack, Gagliardi. Here's Stajan pulling up. It deflects wide of Hudobin. Butler in on Hudobin, who fends it off with a purpose. Jordan Stahl in control. He gave it away. Turning back now is Schmid. They go D to D. They set it up again. 6:29 left in this third period. Now Schmid. Pass detected by Ron Hainsey. Carolina was offside, and now they tag up. Going down, Schmid. You see it from ice level. He'll recover. And Lee Stempniak has it. Here come the Flames. Backlund. Gary Hudler. In the zone, they're offside. We get a stoppage.
You know, the Flames are playing hard for their new teammate, Kevin Westgarth. And by the way, Kevin's parents, Reg, had a chance to meet him on the dad's trip when he was still a Hurricane. and his mom, Milda, I believe is her first name. They're in Ecuador right now.
Oh, wow.
But Kevin said that he thought they were still going to find a way to tune in. In
I hope so.
Ecuador, then they're going to the Galapagos Islands.
He
If I
wasn't a
pronounce that right.
I'm sorry, Trip. He wasn't a hurricane long, but I know he's loved by his teammates. Good guy for us to deal with. It's just one of those things where they gave him a chance to go to another team and get the ice time that he really wasn't getting here. In and out of the lineup and all of that. Giordano. Out of the corner, Monahan by Paul Byron. It comes all the way back. It'll bounce. It will make the line, and icing is called.
The Galapagos Islands, and I told him this morning, I said, be careful. I forget the guy's name, I should know it, but the founder of Amazon was just down there, and he had a kidney stone in those islands, and it had to be airlifted in emergency fashion out of the Galapagos Islands, and that's where the Westgarts are headed after Ecuador.
Okay.
How would you know that?
I didn't know that. Amazon's a river to me. Now, outside the line, Justin Falk in control. It is, right?
Well, I pay attention because I've had a couple kidney stones, so I wouldn't want to have one there.
Now they're in control. Staging off the boards. Falk coming back. Lyles has control in his own zone. 5:15 left in this third period. What has been a frustrating night for the Carolina Hurricanes. Lyles in deep. Headmans the puck off of Gagliardi. They hunt it down again in the center zone. Lyles got to it, though. They'll move it all the way back. No icing. Schmid ahead of Dwyer. Lance Boma looks around. And the young player gets it out to center ice for Matt Stajan, defended by Lyles. Carried in by Manny Malhotra. And overskating the puck that time was Elias Lindholm in Calgary. We'll move it all the way back in Canes ice.
Boy, the forwards and defense have really moved up and down the ice as a group for the Flames.
Yuri Hudler walks in, delays, lays it across, just wide. Stepniak had the chance, and it comes all the way back out to Manny Malhotra. Malhotra through the middle to Lusty on and off his stick. Greeted by Brody and carried out by Michael Backlund. Yuri Hudler. Drop pass for Backlund outside the line. They're in. This way, Giordano. His shot fought off by Anton Hudobin. Lee Stempniak for Calgary. Lindholm for Carolina. We'll move it back.
Now 4:10 left. And not generating a ton of offense. Kirk Muller may actually elect to move Anton Hudobin quite early just to try to get that first one, because we've seen it. You just have to find a way to get that first one. It seems like everything changes.
Through the center zone. Semin. Over the line. Going wide. Numbers back for Calgary. No chance there. Now Skinner. Off a body, it deflects. Top of your screen, Andrei Sekera. Dangling on Paul Byron. Eric Stahl holding onto it. Laying it back for Hainsey. Across now for Semin. Here it comes. Wide. It goes by Sekera and all the way back out. Now Hainsey. Through center for Stahl. Skinner at the line. Walks in. Delays. Goes to the outside. Tries to do it himself. Broken up by Schmid. All the way back down. This will be icing against Calgary.
Now I would bet Hartley will probably use his timeout. But he's been holding on to it all night long. Among other things, because his team has had an excellent night in the faceoff circle. Semin had a great look. I mean, Semin's had 2 or 3 looks, whether it be with his wrist shot or they're the slapper, where earlier in his career, he was deadly.
So the timeout is called here. Let's take a look at the game summary tonight and tell the story. This is Calgary on the power play. Michael Backlund.
Well, this is how I would summarize it. Calgary was by far the better team in the first period, got to their forecheck. Hudobin got Carolina out of that period. Then the Canes started to come. And that's when that Dwyer minor resulted in the tough bounce, but a bounce that Backlund and the Flames earned. And then Ron Hainsey took a chance too early without support. And it was a well-executed odd-man rush. Kari Ramo has really just had to be, I think, a piece in the puzzle. An excellent team effort on the road that you can't help but be impressed with. Still 3:17 to go.
He's been solid tonight. You see by those numbers, a Kane killer. Outstanding in Calgary in mid-December. Calgary will play tomorrow night in Nashville. Off the draw now. Jordan Stahl for the Hurricanes, holding onto it. Lance Boma out to center. Joe Colburn will go through the Carolina defense. Justin Falk and John Michael Lyles. Now it's kicked along. Jordan lays it across. Gagliardi move it all the way back. Now Carolina attempting to move it back out. Comes all the way back in the Flame zone. Schmid ahead of Dwyer. Jordan in the corner with Dwyer and Gerby. Schmid moves it to the point. Falk now off the boards. Jordan Stahl. Patrick Dwyer. Jordan on the flank. Diagonally across for Lyles. To the outside, it's Dwyer. Dwyer holding on to it. Tough to penetrate, though. Lyles again. Here's Jordan. Khudobin stays put. 2:20 left. Calgary finally gets it out.
That's why I thought they might gamble and take him out early, because it's so tough to penetrate. You might be able to do it with a 6 guy.
A steal by Yuri Hudler. Away from Lyles, off the boards, ahead now. Stempniak. Broken up by Ryan Murphy. In the center zone, Semin for Eric. Eric at the line over the head of Jeff Skinner. Now brought back out to neutral ice by Yuri Hudler. He'll just shovel it. Deep in the Carolina zone. $1:49 left in this third period. Calgary seeking their 16th win. They're 9th on the road. Carolina in danger of losing for the 9th time here at home. Khudobin to the bench. 1:39 left. Khudobin back on the ice. Never got there. Moving up, Paul Byron. Out in front. Khudobin says no on Colburn. Semin away from Monahan. Winding it up. 1:24 left. Good play by Sean Monahan. Stealing it from Semin. Laying it back. Paul Byron goes to work. Delayed whistle, a penalty against Carolina. Khudobin the save of the rebound. Chip tie. Good chance for Schmid. Khudobin comes back. The net off the pegs. And the penalty is called.
Boy, I think it was Byron winning that icing battle. The puck was going to stop short of the goal line anyway, but that typifies what has happened tonight, and that the Flames have just outworked the Carolina Hurricanes. Semin's going to take his second penalty of the game.
Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Jeff Skinner, one of 2 players to rank in the top 10 in goals, power play goals, and game-winning goals. Across the board, you see the rankings. Patrick Sharp is the other player, and he has had an incredible run throughout the month of December into January.
And you can tell watching from way up here on press row that the Calgary Flames are very aware, and have been all night, and what a trigger man he's been. He has not had much room.
Third power play for Calgary. Semin in the box for interference. Played along the boards. Cleared out of play. We get a stoppage here. 1:04 left in this third period.
Boy, John, I have to tell you, barring a down a man of incredible comeback, the Hurricanes have had 2 of their toughest losses this year with time to stew before the next game. The Columbus one on the December 23rd, where they had the 3 days off before Pittsburgh, and now not playing till Saturday. Oh, you hate to go into these sessions with this type of loss.
Shot taken from well out is blocked by T.J. Brody off the stick of Justin Falk. Not only do you stew, but you watch all the other teams. And the way the teams are playing in the Metropolitan Division, it's not good to have all that time off. Carolina starting this night, 4 points out of third in the division, 3 points out of a wild card spot. As Hudler has it, empty net, just wide. Stempniak, same situation. Holding, shooting off the goalpost. Now, getting to it is Michael Backlund. 29 seconds left. As Khudobin has a spot on the bench. Off the side of the goal, Yuri Hudler. Now it's played here by Skinner, back out to center. One more time. Fanned down by Hudler. In control, it's Eric over the line. No problem there for Kari Ramo, but it bounces out in front. Loose. Falk with a shot, pinballing around. 5 seconds left. And this will end a frustrating night for the Carolina Hurricanes at home. First ever shutout for Kari Ramo, as the Calgary Flames come to Raleigh and defeat the Hurricanes 2-0.
Well, I guess the first thing I'll say is that I'm really surprised. I expected, even though the Hurricanes had their winning streak halted in Columbus, I thought they'd get back to a really good, quick brand of hockey. And Bob Hartley's team has been known in a tough rebuilding season for the fact that they work every night. And they outwork Carolina. They earned their break on the first goal of the game, which ends up being the game winner. And it's a credit to the integrity of the National Hockey League that there truly are, even when you look at the rosters in the morning, there are no easy nights if you don't outwork your opponent, and Calgary will go to Nashville with a deserved win.
Final count, the Calgary Flames 2. And the Carolina Hurricanes, no score. They knew they had to come home and start the homestand on the right foot. But you have to give the Calgary Flames credit. They were ready for the challenge, ready for the battle. And despite great goaltending from not only Anton Khudobin, but Calgary's Kari Ramo, it was a low-scoring affair won by the Flames 2-0. Hurricanes Live comes your way next. We have total post-game coverage right after this on Fox Sports Carolina.